you ever felt a chill run down your spine in the dead of night, convinced that you're not alone in the room? Welcome, fellow seekers of the eerie and the uncanny. Today, we journey into the abyss of the unknown, exploring 3 bone-chilling true tales that defy explanation. Each story is a whispered echo from the shadows, a testament to the inexplicable phenomena that lurk just beyond our understanding. So, steel your nerves and brace yourself for the unsettling. Let's dive into the darkness together, shall we? Our inaugural tale takes us back in time to an ancient, decaying mansion, where the walls resonate with cries in the tranquil silence of the night. Its cracked facade a testament to centuries of weathering, the old house stood in a remote corner of an otherwise unassuming town. A family of 4, composed of 2 loving parents and their children, full of dreams and ready for a fresh journey, took residence in this seemingly enchanting mansion, unaware of the chilling lore that had woven itself into its fabric over the centuries. This mansion, with its groaning wooden floors and time-worn wallpaper, was a symbol of ages past. Yet, for this optimistic bunch, it represented a clean slate. As they began to settle into their new life, an eerie symphony of sounds began to orchestrate. It commenced subtly, like whispers born on the breeze, a gentle scratching sound radiating from the walls. Initial dismissal as the mansion's neglected structure adjusting soon turned into a growing concern as the noises amplified, becoming more ceaseless, more desperate. Days transformed into weeks, and the symphony intensified. The mansion walls no longer murmured, they wailed in anguish. The family, at first dismissive, now listened with a dread that steadily gnawed at their peace. Their once enchanting home began reflecting a sinister demeanor. The laughter and warmth that once filled the mansion were steadily replaced with an unsettling silence, shattered only by the lamenting walls. Incapable of disregarding the eerie cries, the family embarked on a quest for answers. What they unearthed froze the blood in their veins. Their cherished home, their new beginning, was the site of horrific tragedy decades ago. A narrative of despair and sorrow was inscribed into the very walls that now echoed with cries in the stillness of the night. Their home was not simply a mansion, but a mausoleum of memories, forever echoing the spine-chilling cries from its dark past. Their days were filled with uncertainty and fear, with the wailing walls serving as a relentless reminder of the sorrow the mansion had endured. Every creak, every murmur, was a haunting echo of the chilling history that had unfolded within these ancient walls. In the end, they had to face an icy truth. Beneath the facade of every charming mansion, under the glossy surface of every new beginning, a horrifying tale may be lurking in the shadows, waiting for the right moment to reveal itself. Their home, with its sorrowful walls, stood as a testament to this. It was a chilling reminder that sometimes the walls do talk, and when they do, they narrate tales of dread. So remember, if you hear a creak in the night, it might not just be the house settling. It could be the echoes of a forgotten tragedy. Have you ever encountered a hitchhiker along a desolate stretch of road? Our next tale might make you reconsider. Picture a solitary driver journeying down a secluded highway with only the steady hum of his engine and the rhythmic patter of rain against his windshield for company. It's the depths of night, the outside world shrouded in a cloak of almost complete darkness, broken only by the rare flash of headlights from an opposing vehicle. Suddenly, a lone figure materializes at the roadside. It's a hitchhiker, saturated with rain and seeking passage. Against his instincts, the driver slows down and invites the stranger into the safe haven of his car. The hitchhiker is a young man, his features drawn and weary, but grateful for the offered sanctuary. The two exchange a handful of polite words, followed by the hitchhiker falling silent, his gaze locked onto the stormy night beyond the window. A few miles later, the driver's gaze flits to his rearview mirror and his blood runs cold. The back seat is devoid of life. The hitchhiker has vanished, evaporated, as if he was never present. Heart pounding like a drum, the driver pulls over and frantically searches his vehicle. But there's no trace of the hitchhiker, not even a fleeting hint of his brief existence. All that remains is the chillingly cold, damp patch on the seat where he had previously occupied. Still shaken, the driver continues his journey until he reaches the nearest township. He relays his experience at the local diner, expecting disbelief and doubt. but instead he's met with a bone-chilling revelation. The hitchhiker he picked up bears an uncanny resemblance to a young man who perished on that same eerie stretch of highway years ago. The man had been hitchhiking home in the rain, eerily similar to the apparition the driver encountered. Local inhabitants have recounted seeing the same figure over the years, always on tempestuous nights, always disappearing before reaching the town outskirts. The driver's account simply adds to the growing list of sightings of the disappearing hitchhiker. So what can we make of this eerie narrative? A spectral illusion or a psychological trick by solitude in the late hour? Maybe it's something more profound, a poignant reminder that not everyone roaming aimlessly is lost. Some are simply trying to find their way back to a home they can no longer find. Perhaps the next time you're alone behind the wheel at night, you'll focus more on the road and less on any potential hitchhikers. Our final tale is one of unexplained phone calls and a voice from beyond the grave. Nestled in the tranquil town of Harrogate, Yorkshire, a woman named Amelia led a life of somber solitude. Her beloved partner Richard had tragically departed from this world 2 years prior, and her existence was blanketed by a melancholy silence. However, the serenity of her isolation was about to be shattered in the most unsettling manner. One frosty evening, as Amelia sat in the solitude of her living room, the shrill of her landline echoed through the silence. The phone was an old rotary dial model, a nostalgic artifact from a previous era that Richard had been unnervingly attached to. Tentatively, Amelia lifted the receiver, and a voice ripped the stillness apart. It was Richard's voice, unmistakable, eerily familiar, and it sent a wave of icy dread coursing through her. His message was chillingly simple. "Amelia, I'm here." Shaken to her core, Amelia quickly ended the call, attributing the eerie interruption to a sick prank, or perhaps her grief-stricken mind playing malicious games. Yet the phantasmal calls persisted. Like clockwork, at exactly 9:07, Amelia's antiquated phone would ring out into the night. Each time, Richard's voice would ripple through the line, tearing her peaceful solitude asunder. Amelia decided to change her number, praying this would halt the harrowing calls. But even with the new number, the nocturnal calls continued. "Amelia, I'm here." The spectral voice would persist, leaving her trembling with terror and plagued with confusion. Desperate for answers and a respite from her fear, Amelia sought the assistance of a local paranormal investigator. The investigator was initially skeptical, but agreed to document the calls. He set up his equipment in Amelia's home, and together they waited. As the clock struck 9:07, the phone rang out, breaking the tense silence. The investigator lifted the receiver. Richard's voice echoed through the silence, repeating the same chilling words. A chill ran down the investigator's spine, turning his skepticism into belief. He worked tirelessly to trace the origin of the calls, his every attempt leading him to dead ends and more questions than answers. The calls seemed to originate from nothingness, a void devoid of any known location. The investigator was left confounded, unable to provide Amelia with a logical explanation for her spectral caller. Amelia's tale reverberated throughout Harrogate, striking fear into the hearts of locals. Many speculated it was Richard reaching out from the afterlife, while others dismissed it as a cruel prank. Yet no one could explain how the calls persisted, even after Amelia changed her number. Overwhelmed by fear and the incessant torment, Amelia finally disconnected her landline. The calls ceased, but the enigma persisted. Who or what was the source of the jarring phone calls? Was it Richard's restless spirit, trapped between worlds? Or was it something more nefarious, manipulating Richard's voice to torment Amelia? As the concludes, remember the next time your phone rings, you may want to reconsider lifting that receiver. We've journeyed through these chilling tales together, each one a testament to the unseen horrors that lurk in the shadows. We've walked along the echoing corridors of the wailing walls, where the sorrowful cries of the past resonated with an eerie persistence that defied explanation. We've joined the unsettling ride with the vanishing passenger, whose sudden disappearance left us questioning the reality of our senses. And we've answered the chilling call of the unseen caller, whose disturbing messages sent shivers down our spines, reminding us that sometimes the things we can't see are far more terrifying than those we can. These stories serve as a stark reminder that reality can often be stranger and more frightening than fiction. They blur the lines between the tangible and the surreal, the understood and the inexplicable. They remind us that, despite our best efforts to understand the world around us, there are still mysteries that elude our grasp, horrors that lurk in the corners of our understanding, waiting for the perfect moment to emerge. These tales, chilling as they may be, are not just stories. They are fragments of reality, pieces of the world as we know it, yet so different, so terrifying. They remind us that the world is much larger, much stranger, and much more terrifying than we can possibly imagine. As we part ways, remember the world is full of mysteries, and sometimes the scariest stories are the ones that are true. Sleep tight.